Before you found grace, grace had already found you. This is not a story about being good enough. It never was. This is a story about a love that runs toward broken things. A love that was written before your first mistake, before your first failure, before the moment you looked in the mirror and didn't recognize the person looking back. You know the place this story begins. Most of us do. It begins in the quiet, in the weight you carry when no one is watching, in the shame that replays itself in the small hours of the night when the world is asleep and your thoughts are louder than everything. It begins in the feeling that you have wandered so far from who you were supposed to be that the distance back feels impossible. That the gap between who you are and who God made you to be is simply too wide to cross. You are not the first person to sit in that darkness, and you will not be the last. But here, right here, in the middle of your weakness, in the center of your breaking, in the place where you have finally run out of your own strength, this is exactly where grace begins. Not after you fix yourself, not once you have it together. Here, now, as you are. Because grace was never a reward for the deserving. It was always a rescue for the lost. There comes a moment. It is not always loud. It is not always dramatic. Sometimes it arrives as quietly as open hands. A surrender so small the world doesn't notice, but heaven does. The moment you stop pretending, the moment you stop performing, the moment you let go of the exhausting weight of trying to earn what was always being freely offered to you. That moment is the turning point. Then what happens next is the most beautiful thing in all of human experience. While you were still a long way off, not when you arrived, not when you cleaned yourself up, not when you rehearsed your apology and got the words right, while you were still far away, still stumbling, still uncertain whether you even deserved to come home, Grace saw you. And Grace ran, not walked, not waited, ran. With arms already open before you could say a word, with compassion that didn't need an explanation, with a love so extravagant it didn't stop to calculate what you had done or how long you had been gone or how much it was going to cost to bring you back. It just held you. And something in you, something that had been clenched tight for so long you had forgotten what it felt like to breathe, finally let go. This is what forgiveness feels like when it lands. Not like a transaction, not like a verdict, like arms that will not release you, like the face of someone who is genuinely, impossibly glad you came home, like peace that does not make sense given everything that came before it, and yet it is there, real and warm and unshakable, settling over you like light. You did not earn this. You cannot. That is the whole point. And once you have received something this freely, something this undeserved, something this wide and deep and relentless, you find that you cannot keep it to yourself. Grace changes the way you see people, the ones who have hurt you, the ones who are hard to love, the ones sitting alone at tables carrying weights you recognize because you once carried the same ones. You look at them differently now, not from above, but from beside, because you remember the floor. You remember what it felt like when someone sat down next to you in your worst moment and chose not to leave. Be that person for someone. Forgive the way you have been forgiven. Love the way you have been loved. Extend to others the same impossible, undeserved, breathtaking mercy that reached all the way down to where you were and pulled you back into the light. Because this is how grace moves in the world. Not in grand announcements, in quiet rooms, in gentle hands, in words spoken to someone who needed to hear them today, in choosing kindness when bitterness would be easier, in staying when leaving would be simpler, in seeing the humanity in someone that everyone else has walked past. Grace flows. It was never meant to stop with you. So walk forward, not because the road is easy, not because the past has disappeared, but because you are no longer walking alone, and you are no longer walking under the weight of what you owe. You have been set free, not by anything you did, not by any strength you summoned, not by finally getting everything right. By gift, entirely by gift. For it is by grace you have been saved, through faith. And this is not from yourselves. It is the gift of God. You didn't earn your way into this story. You were written into it before the foundation of the world by a God who looked at everything you would ever be and everything you would ever do and decided that you were worth every cost. That is grace. It was always for you. It has always been for you. And it will never, ever run. Wherever you are today, whatever you are carrying, you are not too far gone. Grace is already here, and it has your name on it. If this touched your heart, share it with someone who needs it today. Like, follow and spread the grace.